Thanks for tuning in to Controlled Laughter with Lexi and Taylar. Hey guys, welcome back to our second podcast. We're joined again with our sound man, Dylan, and we're just going to dive right in today with our first topic, Jonbenet Ramsey. So, me and Taylar took a forensics class last year, and in that class, watched a lot of forensic files, watched a lot of murder mysteries, and Jonbenet Ramsey was the one that really stuck with me and Taylar, and we're fascinated with it, sort of, I guess you could say. We just think it's so crazy that it was never solved. So today, we're going to give you our opinions on it, go over the case a little bit. I'll hand it over to Taylar. She can tell you a little bit about it. Taylar?
You want me to be honest? Me and Lacey have actually figured out this case about 500 times in the past year. I just think that it's so crazy that she was just killed in her house and there was just a ransom note left in the house, and then her body was just magically found in the basement 8 hours after she was reported missing. And she had several injuries, but the autopsy said that the real cause of death was her being strangled to death, and it was ruled a homicide. But they still never figured out who killed her or anything. It's still an open case at the police department in Boulder, Colorado.
And the ransom note was written so oddly. It was, "Mr. Ramsey, listen carefully," with an exclamation point. I've never once in my whole time of being a fake detective came across a ransom note that was in such detail and written so oddly and used words that were not an everyday type of language, but then would misspell small words like possessions. And in the ransom note, the ransom was for $118,000, which is kind of crazy because that was exactly around the bonus that Mr. Ramsey had just gotten. So I really don't think anyone else outside of the family would have known that. His bosses, maybe other people that he worked with. So me personally, I think it was definitely someone within the family, even though later on the detectives said that the families were not involved. I really don't believe that. I think the detectives were wrong.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because, no one else but outside of the family or, outside of his workplace would have known that he got $118 or $118,000.
But
so.
I think what really screwed up this investigation the most is just the police. Since they didn't do a full search of the property, they didn't seal off the area, they didn't even search the basement. They said that John and a family friend could search their own house that afternoon, and so that's whenever Jonbenet's body was found. Coincidentally, it wasn't found when the police were there, but only whenever the family and their friends were searching. And Jonbenet was found covered in a blanket with her wrist tied up above her head, with duct tape over her mouth, and the autopsy said that she had died from strangulation and a fractured skull. My theory, personally, her brother got mad at her because he was jealous that she was a beauty star, and he was not, and he just really wanted to be the beauty king. But that he got mad at her, hit her in the head with something hard, flashlight, something like that. And that wasn't the first time he'd been violent towards her. Kids are kids, they're gonna fight, but he had tried to hit her with a shovel once before. He might have done it, I don't really remember. So I think he hit her with something hard. She died. It woke the parents up. They came down, tried to cover the scene up, tried to write a ransom letter to make it seem like it wasn't them or the brother, and that mixed with the awful police investigation just made for a horrible case that will never be solved.
And in the brother's interview, he kind of just like didn't take it seriously at all, and he just like laughed whenever they asked him about it, and it was just so off. Like, you knew that he did it. Like, I don't know, it's just crazy.
Didn't the brothers sue the people that did his interview because they like accused him of doing it, so he sued him for so much money?
I'm pretty sure he did. Because
I don't know why you'd go through
with an interview acting like that and then
turn around and sue him.
Yeah.
Like, you know that for all these years, your family's been in the spotlight, your family has been accused of this. So I don't know why he would even go into an interview thinking that he wasn't going to be a suspect.
Yeah.
Now, in 2016, you know how there was a unidentified male's DNA sample found in Jonbenet's underwear? Well, it turns out that there are now 2 unidentified people's DNA in her underwear. So that changes the case so much, and the case is still open, still unsolved, still an investigation. Taylor, personally, what do you think happened?
I think that the brother did it, definitely. And then, like, I have no idea, because if there's 2 people's DNA in her underwear now, I feel like some people, like, from his work just kidnapped her because they were just jealous of her and, like, just killed her. That way the dad would give him the money, but they never got that money.
Yeah, and in the ransom note, it was talking about how the kidnappers were going to call John and Patsy to give them instructions on how to get the money to them and how to get Jonbenet back, but that call never came. So that made it even quicker to suspect the family was involved, because what they said would happen never actually happened. Also, the case went cold really fast because just all the police errors that were made. And Dylan, do you have anything on the subject? Any input?
Yeah, I think that the actual killers were probably someone from his workplace, because if you read the ransom note, it's a poorly written ransom note about how, like, they're a small foreign group, but I mean, in reality, I just feel like it's his co-workers that were jealous of John, so they had to murder his daughter and try to get the money off of him, but it just never happened, and it just fell through.
Interesting outlooks. Do we all agree that the police screwed this whole thing up, though?
Yes.
Yeah,
most
absolutely.
definitely.
Absolutely. Do we all agree that it was a case that is one of a kind? Nothing has ever been as odd and crazy DNA samples, crazy evidence, just as insane as this case.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yes.
All right, guys, that's all we have on the Jonbenet case. We'll be right back after a quick message. Hey guys, we're back. Thanks for tuning back in. Now we're going to talk water bubbles, water balls, whatever you want to call them. Recently on Snapchat, this has blown up, and they're, I guess, water bubbles is what you would call them, and they're for runners instead of drinking out of water bottles, because they only take a couple sips anyways while they're running. They have water bubbles now. Taylor, do you think water bubbles are yay, nay?
I think that water bubbles are awesome, and I actually want to try one really bad soon, so I'm probably just going to go online and buy some, or go to the nearest place where I can get some, because they just look so cool. They're just like little edible water bubbles that just will replace plastic bottles.
I think this is really good for the environment too. That's why they're doing it, so runners don't just throw their water bottles down. And it also saves water, because it's just, you put it in your mouth, I don't know if it explodes, dissolves, what, if you bite into it, if it...
I'm pretty sure you just bite down and
it just
you
bursts,
drink
kind
it.
of.
Yeah.
What are they made out of exactly? Seaweed and something else.
I'm not really sure, but I mean, I just think it's great for the environment, and plus it's great for runners because I mean it's just so much more easier to have than just having to stop and go get a water bottle.
Yeah, they're made of an edible membrane from a natural seaweed extract, and they replace plastic bottles. Aquafina has purified drinking water for water bubbles, so Aquafina's on board. I'm on Design Boom right now looking at them. There's colored ones. I don't know if the colored ones are different flavors or if that's just the color of the seaweed extract for that. Most of them are clear, though.
They're really cheap, too.
This brand named Uhu is an edible packaging company, and they can enclose other liquids such as soft drinks and juices.
That's cool.
So you could just have everything on the go and just eat it.
If the bubbles are not eaten within 4 to 6 weeks, they will biodegrade into the earth, whereas plastic takes a lot longer than that. It takes 10 to 100 years, some even 450 years, some even 1,000 years. Just really depends. We have a guest that just walked in. Ian Ludingham, everybody. Give a round of applause. Round of applause. He can't talk. He doesn't have a headset, but he looks very happy to be here. He said indeed in case it didn't pick up.
I just think that everyone should try these water bubbles because they're so much more like handy than having a water bottle all the time. So I honestly just love them.
A lot safer for the environment. A lot safer for runners too because they don't have to hold that water bottle in their hand while they're going. They just pop that bubble in their mouth and they're on their way. Hydrated. Better for the environment. Cheaper.
What more could you want, honestly?
It's honestly best. Whoever came up with this, such a smarty. This person commented, said, I like the idea of using a seaweed extract. However, I don't see how this is a viable barrier method of fluid transport. But obviously it's working out perfectly fine because I don't think any of them are busted until you eat them.
Eat them.
I guess you just have to have a lot of force put on them to burst them. I would think. They seem to be holding up perfectly fine to me. The one thing I'm kind of worried about, though, is if they're sold in, like, grocery stores and stuff, I don't know what kind of packaging they'll be in to keep them from bursting everywhere.
I feel like they would kind of be in, like the bags that ice come in because, I mean, those bags don't really, like, bust, and they're filled with water half the time, like, whenever the ice melts or, like, whenever the ice is even in there. So I feel like they would be one of those bags, but I'm not really sure.
If you guys are watching on YouTube, want to leave a comment down below if you think water bubbles are good. If you're still a water bottle fan, boo on you, but you can comment down below your opinions. Also comment down below your opinions on the John Ramsey case. I forgot to say that earlier. That's all we have on water bubbles, though, so after this quick break, we'll be back with more funny, debatable topics. Hey guys, we're back, and we're gonna get right back into our debatable topics. Of course, me and Taylor love Kylie Jenner. We love makeup.
Yes.
Dylan probably loves it too. He won't admit it on air though. So
know
our
he does.
first debatable topic, which is huge in any makeup ever, any makeup discussions, any makeup channels on YouTube, anything, is Kylie Jenner versus ColourPop. Which is better, more affordable, worth it? Taylor, you have the makeup on today.
I do have a lot of makeup on today. Okay. I'm going to have to say that I'm just not a fan of Kylie's lip kits. They're just not my favorite, and they're not very, like, worth the quality, if you know what I mean. Like, for what you pay
Not
for
worth
them.
the price.
Yes.
What an average Kylie lip kit is like $16. Like just one lipstick is like $16. I think.
Yeah.
ColourPop, I think I paid like $6.
Yeah,
for
and it's way better.
My lippy stick from there.
I love the lippy sticks. Those are so good.
I got the wrong shade in my lippy. So I look like an old grandma. You know how old grandmas wear their bright pink lipstick and it's hideous? That is what I look like, so I refuse to wear it out in public. It is horrible. But that's nothing against ColourPop or their lippies. It was all on me. I just got the wrong shade. That's perfectly fine for another human, just not on my lips, not on me. It looks horrible.
I usually like nude pink colors, or that's really the only colors I like in lipstick.
I really don't wear lipstick, if you want me to be honest.
I mean, I don't either. If I'm like going out, like, have to look good, then I'll wear lipstick. But just, occasional day at school, I don't really wear lipstick because, I mean, it just gets all over your face and it's just
Gets
not
on
a
your
good deal.
teeth. Honestly, this is just going to turn into a debate on whether you like chapstick or lipstick better, and chapstick all the way, let me just tell you right now.
Yeah, I love that Carmex, and Carmex actually just came out with a new flavor besides cherry, and it is birthday cake, and I love it. And everyone that's listening should try it immediately.
Actually, everybody should just get Aquaphor. No flavors, nothing, but it's just the best thing ever invented. Keeps your lips moisturized and plump and good. Okay, back to Kylie versus ColourPop. Eyeshadow-wise, ColourPop, Kylie.
I really have not tried Kylie's eyeshadow or ColourPop's eyeshadow. I've only tried Urban Decay and Huda Beauty. But I'm pretty sure if I was to guess, because I've seen Kylie Jenner's Snapchat stories, and whenever she tests out the eyeshadows, it looks very pigmented. So I'm assuming that Kylie's is much more worth the price.
Worth the price, yeah. Now moving on to our next funny topic, Chick-fil-A versus Raising Cane's.
Raising Cane's all the way. I love it with all my
Chick-fil-A
heart.
all the way. Dylan, tiebreaker, what is it?
Chick-fil-A.
Are you serious? No
Taylor, you
way.
suck. Raising
I love
Cane's sucks.
with all my heart.
I'm just kidding. Raising Cane's is perfectly fine. They should probably sponsor us. Actually, Chick-fil-A should probably sponsor us. Chick-fil-A is so good. They won't even serve it on the Lord's Day. Cane's can't say that about.
Yeah, but
They're sinners, is
that
all I have
just
to
makes,
say.
That just makes me happy because, I mean, I can just go there on any day of the week and get that chicken and that toast and the sauce, and I love it so much.
The toast, I will have to say, something that is very good, but Raising Cane sauce, not a fan.
Yes, that is the best. I could literally eat it on everything, like from breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like, I love it.
Chick-fil-A sauce, I eat it on everything. Literally.
Waffle fries, though. What about waffle fries?
Okay, those are good too, but you can only eat them with mayonnaise, and I love it.
Oh.
What?
Yes, I
I've
love
never
eating
ate
waffle
those with
fries with
mayonnaise.
mayonnaise. That's the best.
That is disgusting.
But not a lot of mayonnaise, just like a little bit to where you can just get the flavor.
You're like that girl that was on Barstool Sports. She literally picked up a glob of mayonnaise out of her hand and just put it in her mouth.
You okay?
That
That's
is
nasty.
you right now. That's all I'm picturing you doing is just
Oh my
globbing
God.
mayonnaise into your mouth. That
No,
is just,
okay.
ugh.
I can't do that. I can only have little amounts of it, and I just like it on those fries because that's just the only thing I like on those fries. Like ketchup just doesn't suit it.
Maybe Chick-fil-A sauce on those fries because that is
Well,
the best sauce that has
I
ever
only
been
like the
invented.
Chick-fil-A sauce on the chicken.
I don't even eat it with the chicken. Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter. We established Chick-fil-A is dominant over Raising Cane's, better, healthier, probably.
Probably not.
That's
but
debatable. It's just holier, all around amazing. Love Chick-fil-A, Raising Cane's. Ugh. Final topic. Since it's getting close to Halloween, vampires versus werewolves. Just say what you would rather be, what you rather like, whatever. Taylor?
I would rather be a vampire because I don't even like being out in the sun during the day. So, I mean, it really wouldn't be a problem for me. And I would actually love to stay inside during those hours because I could just sleep all day and I just love to sleep. And vampires sleep a lot anyways, and then they just go out for food. So, I mean, it'd be pretty great if you ask me.
Dylan?
I'd have to go with vampire because it is cooler.
I'm also going with vampire, even though I'd love to date a werewolf because they're cuter, especially on Twilight and Teen Wolf, things like that. I'd have to go with the vampire. I don't really like the sun. All I do is sleep and eat, and I'm super pale, so it works out. I'm basically a vampire anyways. Glad we are all vampire-loving
Lovers.
Chick-fil-A. Vampires who love Chick-fil-A. Am I right, Taylor?
No.
Yes! Woo, Chick-fil-A!
Woo,
Say
Raising
woo if you
Cane's.
love Chick-fil-A!
Woo! Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A's better.
Okay, on that note, that we're gonna leave, and thank you so much for listening to Controlled Laughter with me, Lexi, Taylor, and our sound guy, Dylan. Give a big woo for our sound guy. Woo! And that's all we have for today. Thanks, guys.